think we'll not record audio just yet. This is going to be a first time for me. I've never done a podcast before. I'm going to be streaming the podcast because for people that like to see movement, at least they got that option. I don't know if any data is going in. I think we're live. I think we're good. This just in. Okay, so before I start recording the podcast, just for people to know what's going on here, I am going to be recording a podcast. So we'll be streaming it, of course, as a video so that people can still see the process and what's going on. So, yes, that's how it's going to be doing. So we're going to click record here. This is going to be going on to a website called Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is what looks like an amazing place for this kind of stuff. So I'm pretty excited with my very first podcast. So here it is. We are going to go straight into it. This is Casually Serious, where someone who knows nothing about anything talks to himself for a bit. We will always be going every 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time every Friday. We're going to be doing one now because it'll be nice to have at least an intro recorded for the podcast. So I am your host, VitaminZeth. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram under that name, Zeth with a Z. We're going to be going into our first segment here, and it's going to be the word of the day, obverse. What is obverse? On the Merriam-Webster.com website, obverse, the side of a coin or currency note bearing the chief device and lettering, broadly, a front or principal surface. The second definition is a counterpart having the opposite orientation or force, also opposite. And the third is a proposition inferred immediately from another by denying the opposite of what the given proposition affirms. So basically opposite. Fancy word for opposite. Okay, it's pretty obverse. Nice. You know, it's odd and striking to me because it fits really well with the topic. Fits really well with the topic. The topic, what's poppin'? Strangers. Strangers are very, we're taught from a young age that, you know, strangers are not the kind of people we want to be associated with. The thing is, we are associated with so many strangers that we're not really completely aware of it. If you work in retail, if you work a job where you gotta talk with people, you're dealing with strangers all the time. And it's kind of weird how at a young age, you're taught not to really open up to strangers. You're taught not to really, you know, have, give them a reason, okay, to know who you are. You don't want to give them too much, right? You just want them to know that, like, I work here. I can help you probably pick out a shirt. I can tell you if we got it in stock. You know, my name's Jeff, right? You don't want to go too far, but what really does suck is that to a certain extent we do kind of go beyond what it is that we're taught. We go against what we were taught because a successful salesman is someone who can really get in there with the audience, right? To get in there with the people that they're trying to reach. So if you really think about it, we deal a lot with strangers. We are such social human beings. There's no way that we can break that natural tendency to want to communicate. It's a lot more easier to communicate than it is to be alone. Because even those in self-isolation, they're still going to talk to themselves, right? So yeah, that it goes so well. Being the opposite. Okay, opposite. Strangers. You know, like we contradict ourselves, I think, on a daily basis, and strangers are no different from a contradiction of what we are taught. The only reason why I thought this would be really great is because I did get into a pretty heated discussion. I would think it's a discussion. I got a heated discussion with someone, okay? And we were talking. I was thinking there was a connection. You know, he raps, he does music. He was asking for tips. I was like, I'm willing to help you out, man. You know, I write stuff myself, right? Like cool stuff, right? But what was really averse, okay, was how what I thought of him initially, and what happened 2 hours later. Like the conversation with him went sour, and we were. I just felt like there was no connection anymore, and it's so weird, right? Because like if you think about it, first impressions are super duper important when it comes to strangers, right? The way that the way that they have dressed, the way that they talk, their mannerisms, their that is what makes a stranger a friend. So now we got that out of the way, okay? Like first impressions. Now, what I think hurt this particular stranger's approach for me was just all of these red flags. It's really crazy. Like I don't think you notice it too much unless it's pointed out. Or unless I guess you think about it, right? Like when we're having conversations, there's pauses, and there's also times where the person's done. That's definitely like done talking. Okay, that's definitely something I've always had issues with. It's always hard to know, are they done talking? Did they get their point across? I think I understand what it is that they're trying to say. So, I'm out of here, right? Time to comment on what's going on. But with strangers, you don't know what they are like yet. You don't know what their social patterns and speaking patterns are. So you don't know when to really jump in. You don't really know when to make a comment, a compliment even, to share a thought. You really don't know. So with this conversation I had with this random person, it just felt like we were talking over each other. I wasn't even done speaking, and he kept going. I tried to hold back. I wanna acknowledge that I also played a part in that. But it was just definitely frustrating. Red flags. There's things that he mentioned that like a complete stranger. If they say this in real life, I would think I wouldn't want to talk to them. Right? Like illegal activities. As soon as you hear that word, you hear those two words, illegal and activities, in like one sentence. That's a red flag. Like even now, I just think like, if anything, I think I was just there for the ride, or just hoping to God that he in his right mind is just playing an act. Isn't that what most strangers are doing? Because let's be real here. When you're meeting people in real life and you're reading people online, they are not necessarily themselves, are they? Maybe they are. You know what? Maybe they are. Maybe they are genuinely themselves. That first time you meet them, they are kind. They're respectful. They're very opinionated. They're very willing to accept other people's thoughts. Very welcoming to new ideas. I don't know. I don't know what else traits, what are qualities you want to find in another person. But those are definitely the striking ones that, growing up, that's what I would like to see. Now, you give it some time, right? You say you meet this stranger, you befriend this stranger, and those qualities are what spoke to you the most. Okay. Now, what's really great is that this individual, oh my God, like it just. Yeah, illegal activity. Who uses that? Who just blatantly says that to a complete stranger, to a new person that you've never spoken to before? It's crazy. I literally have so much faith in humanity. I'm naive and gullible, and I think I know that. But in knowing so, that innocence is what really helps me connect with people, I think. So I was giving this guy some breathing room. Like, okay, we'll talk it out. I'll hear you out. I don't know what you're insinuating, inferring to. I really don't know. But it just didn't. Nothing really good came out of it. If anything, he just wasted my time. We had like a conversation about the Illuminati. We had a conversation about beliefs and values, and I was just like, to each their own, right? Like that's how it should always be. I think is that you share what you wanna share and what you believe, and if people agree or disagree, then that's it. Put a cork in it, Like, there's no need to keep going. The only thing is, with strangers, you don't know when they're done. You don't know what they're like, and it was definitely a heated discussion, and I never really felt like I got my point across, and I've never really felt like they understood. And I bet you that that's exactly how they felt too. So, if anything, it could have just been a humongous misunderstanding between us that made the heat go as hot as it did. For the shit to hit the fan, like I don't really know, but it's just as soon as you hear crazy talk, as soon as you start to hear things like illegal activity, like I still can't get over that. As soon as you hear that kind of stuff, lots of red flags, There was, in the conversation popped up literally just things that felt so cult-like, and I was like, okay, I made it so clear to him every time, like I tried to be as kind as a Canadian can be. I don't want to mess around or be entangled in drama. So, I don't mind talking to you about music, right? That's some cool stuff. But what's not cool is this cult stuff. What's not cool is illegal activities. I really don't know to what extent. He never really gave an example. So it's kind of just up in the air to think what he really meant by that. Till now, I don't really know. Okay, benefit of the doubt, it's nothing serious. But, oh my god. Anyways, yeah, it was just such a weird experience for me. All I know is this. This is something that I wanted to bring up in terms of strangers. And the opposite, obverse. What an amazing word that is, obverse. I wanted to just talk about how I think there is like a personal truth, societal truth, and a true truth. And this will tie in with the topic of strangers. Now, think about it, okay? If you're born as a baby, do you know anything? Do you? Do you know to brush your teeth? Do you know to change your diaper? Do you know how to walk? Do you know how to speak? Do you even know what organs you're using to do any of the human functions that most of us have become accustomed to? Smelling with your nose, hearing with your ears, tasting with your mouth, seeing with your eyes. Do you even know what eyes are? Like, the simple questions, right? That should be for us now as older people who are out of that infant stage. We know what that is, right? But did we know what that was? Did we know? I think we learned it. I think that it was something that we learned. And that is what I would call a societal truth, right? That's just something that everybody found out at some point and decided to pass it on. Okay? It's influenced by others. It's things that you were taught, things you were educated in, right? That to me is a societal truth. What is a personal truth? I think of it as opinion. I think of it as like, this is what I think, right? This whole thing, this podcast, this topic, it's what I think, right? My opinion. You have the right to agree, disagree, to listen, to stop listening, all that kind of jazz, right? Because that's what you think. It's a personal truth. But then there's a true truth where none of those things influence the truth, where it isn't because we saw it and we defined what it was for it to be a truth. And it's not because we were taught that that is what it is defined as. You know what I mean? You probably don't. I don't even know what a true truth is. Maybe you do. But the thing is, will you change my mind that we have found what a true truth is? I personally think that there isn't any true truths out there that we are very well aware of. Because, like, I'm holding a water bottle right now. This water bottle, I only know it's a water bottle because I was told it's a water bottle. I'm told it's a water bottle. I didn't just think that is water in a cylindrical shape that I can carry with me. Cylindrical shape. I can think of another word. Bottle. Wow, water bottle. Now, hear me out. I don't even know what cylindrical is until I was taught. I don't even know what water was until I was taught or told that's what water is. There's a lot of things that society or other people influence and teach and pass on that we learn. Okay? So that's undeniably a societal truth. I personally have no opinion or truth to it because that is just for what I think to be the truth. So there's a contradiction there because, like, do I think it's a water bottle or does a society think that it should be what I think is a water bottle? You see, it's so great. I love that. But anyways, the true truth is beyond those two things. Like, how do you even conceptualize that? I can't even conceptualize that. And that's why it kind of does fascinate me. And it was a key component of the conversation I had with that stranger. Right? Because he's sharing his truth. I'm sharing my truth. But are they really our truths? Are they really truths that we thought of on our own? Or are they truths that society taught us? Like that's a brain F, you know? That's a humongous brain fart every time I think about it. And you can word it. And if you read that sentence out loud, you're just going to feel frustrated why it feels wrong. Because shouldn't there just only be a truth? Oh my god. That's why life is super duper fun, right? That's why strangers are super duper fun. Because it's not only now your truth, it is also now their truth. And sooner or later, it's going to be an influenced societal truth. A sharing and combining of these ideas that we think are ours, but probably truly aren't. And just as social creatures and just as amazing human beings as we are, you know, we're just going to define it and we're just going to think that's just what it is. Strangers are cool, all right? But definitely what was sad to the story, anyways, going off from that tangent, all I know is that I treated the guy with respect. I tried to hear him out. You know, again, I can accept some blame that because of the heat of the moment, you know, I talked over him too. So, like, I apologize for that. You know, publicly I do. But completely ignoring someone, playing a YouTube video so loud that you can't even hear my voice, that is kind of messed up. That is a form of disrespect. And that is what got me. Like I told him a thing. Like I bet you it's a saying or a quote. Okay, maybe I stole it. But you know, like crazy people are the people you do want to listen to. Everyone wants to ignore them, but those are the people that you should really be hearing out. It's always the people in society that are outcasts, people that we want to truly ignore. But if they are showing humane mannerism and acceptable, tolerable behavior, okay? A conversation with them can change your mind. Think about where they came from. Think about what, like how they were brought up. Think about what could have caused them to think this way. And I'm not saying that that's a bad way to think. Like, the way I think could be wrong to most people, right? So, nobody's right or wrong. We are just different. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. But, again, it really all boils down to, can you have a controlled, humane conversation? And if you can, that's, I think, the best part. You can really see from a different perspective, and you can really see what other people are thinking. The other people are thinking. So, to end off this segment on topic, what's poppin'? Strangers. We talk to them all the time. We communicate with so many human beings, especially now during COVID. We're doing it online. It's a lot more easier to get in contact with people ever than before. But is it really any better? That's for you to decide. The question of the day. Oh man. What is the question of the day? What really gets on your nerves? So you guys can, I don't think, oh yeah, that's right. I started to stream. I had this streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So YouTube will have an archive of the video up again that is going to be on the YouTube channel VitaminZeth. So if you want to comment on that video, what really gets on your nerves, go ahead, feel free to do that. I'll also start a hashtag. It'll be hashtag CasuallySerious, the name of the podcast. You can make a tweet, put hashtag CasuallySerious, and I'll give a look-see. What gets on my nerves, though? All right, what gets on my nerves? Literally, it's so great that all of this in the script kind of worked out really well. This is my first podcast. This is amazing. If anything, I'm having the time of my life right now, just talking literally to myself in my basement. This is fun. Yeah, it's just when things are obverse, opposite from what you expect. And strangers are literally no different from what you would not often expect. And of course, different feelings can kind of come from that. But if we're talking getting on your nerves, right? That's a negative thing. Frustration, anger. Bad. I think definitely it would just be the respect. I was brought up in a household where respect it's a part of the culture. Like if you disrespect your elders, you got a slipper flying right at you. If you disrespect your parents, you're grounded. No cell phone, no internet, no nothing. You're just in that room. Okay, I make that sound bad. They still feed you. They still feed you, but yeah, you don't. Man, you don't do that. You don't do that. There's just some things you don't do, man. Like even in Minecraft, I took off my boots. Okay, this is a video game we're talking here. I took off my boots before going into someone else's house. I thought that was funny, but then I realized just how important respect is to me. So how important is respect to you guys? How important is respect to you, your family, to your culture, and where you were brought up? How important do you think respect is today, especially under these times of COVID, where it's so easy to get in contact with new people, it's so easy to find adverse situations where you don't see eye to eye, Like, what role does respect play in your lives now? Especially now, right? For me, it plays a big role. It never changed. It just plays a big role. I don't really see respect changing for me. there's times where, yes, I will contradict it. I will go against it. There might be times where, you know, I am disrespectful. But you gotta not deny that even just a pure sense of just noticing, of just realizing that you were disrespectful, that respect plays a big role in our lives, in our lifestyle, in our life cycle. Doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what era you were born in, what decade. You know what respect is. And is that a thing that you learn? Is that a thing that you know? Is that just something that as a baby they know what respect is? It's really great, you know? It's really great to ask these questions, to always think about that human element within us. I think it's important. So, I really don't know what else to say for this podcast. If anything, yeah, this was just a nice intro, just a nice showcase of what to expect if you tune in. Again, every Friday, 8 p.m. That is my goal. Every Friday, 8 p.m. I'll be streaming this on YouTube, on Twitch, and I'll get this on Buzzsprout. Oh my gosh, yes. Buzzsprout.com. That is where I'm going to be putting all of the episodes. So I know that there's like a limit. I got just a free account. I really don't know how any of this works. This is going to be a learning experience for me. And I'm hoping that if anything, the first few segments was able to capture your attention and hopefully making you want more. There will be more. I will stay as close as I can to this calendar, to this schedule. I think that this will be good for me. It'll be really good to just get my thoughts out. I think that I have too many thoughts on things. Too many personal truths, you know, that I would like other people to see, other people to notice, other people to hear and to think about, you know. There definitely is such a beauty in today's technology, such a beauty in being as advanced as we are, as much as there is so much negatives. So I think that's how I'd want to end this, you know, on that positive note. So yeah, hopefully you guys got a comment. If you want to know what kind of equipment I'm using, I think that'll be kind of cool. You know what? Like I can do that like at the end or something. I plan on switching out mics every time, but everything is as standard as I can possibly get it. Besides the rack gear, it's just a bunch of it's just what's it called? It's just a preamp. I go through an EQ, which I never actually use. There's a sonic exciter, which I actually never use. It's just a compressor. So we just got an amplifier for the mic, compressor on it, and we're talking right now into an Electro Voice RE20. So every single odd day, I'm planning on using this mic, and in every single even day, I'm planning on using the Shure SM7B. Just to kind of add some flavor, I think. It'll be kind of nice to have different mics on rotation. And then perhaps if you guys think, you know, Seth, stick with the RE20, or, you know, like, I like the sound of the Shure SM7B, Seth, stick with that one. I'll be reading. I will definitely take your guys' advice. Whatever it is that you want to hear, whatever it is that you want me to speak through, I will speak through. Within reason, of course. So, yes. Man, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I always end up finding something else to say. So I'll be ending the podcast here. Thanks for anybody who tuned in. Thanks for anybody who watched the stream. And, you know, stay casually serious. Oh, I stopped the recording on on Audacity. So that was only 28 minutes. That's a 28-minute podcast. The only things that we didn't have time for and didn't want to do was the 10-minute song section. So that's going to definitely add some time to the podcast. So I'm thinking that we're aiming anywhere between a 38 to a 40-minute podcast or stream each time I do this. So that's actually pretty good. In terms of time on the table, that's perfect. Yeah, literally gives me time to still do school, stay up late and be very irresponsible. Yeah, I think that's just perfect. If anything for me, if I reach that 1 hour goal somehow, probably add more segments. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, I guess that's the live stream. That's the podcast. So yeah, thank you for again anybody who watched, anybody who's here. Appreciate it. We'll just see how this goes. You know, I just am just taking my mom's advice. Just talking. I talk too much. I talk too much. So yeah, I'll stop the stream here. Thanks again. Anybody who came, thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I don't know how to end a stream, of course. Yes, there it is.